We have a people in the church who are ever learning but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. In Timothy, Paul spoke about some women, but that's true as well for men. If you read the Amplified Bible, it says, these weak women listen to anybody who will teach them. And that's why I warned you, I think it was last week or the other week, I want some of you who think that everybody should teach you. You don't respect what God has placed on your life. You think every Tom, Dick, Harry, and the third one you can put a name, can teach you. You think they're hungry, but they're just lost people. Because they don't understand. They cannot discern. He says, these weak women will listen to anybody who will teach them. They are forever inquiring and getting information, but they're never able to arrive at a recognition and knowledge of the definite article, truth. Not truth, the truth. Ever learning. They're in every service, every meeting, every lunch hour, but they're learning from anybody who will teach. And that's why I caution, and this is going to be a hard one, please take it, but I'm sorry. I caution some of the ministers. One time I was interacting with a man of God, a dear friend, who said, for me, God told me, everybody is welcome, right? So this guy gets on his altar and invites everybody. Sometimes the mistake is that some of our men of God, they try to extend themselves beyond the rule of measure that is given them. As a minister, God says, okay, the grace I've given you is to teach 2 weeks, 2 times a week, or 4 times a week. That's the grace of what? Given you. Don't expend yourself beyond the rule of that measure. The Bible is very clear. We will not boast of things, 2 Corinthians 10:13, without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which God has distributed to us. Listen to that next line. A measure to reach you even. That we can only reach as far as the measure God has given us. If he has given you grace to preach once every week, every day, you will teach and preach once every day, and you'll never run out. If he has given you grace to preach twice or 3 times every week, man of God, stick to those 2 days every week, 3 days every week. Stick to those. Right? But when you see another man who has the grace to preach every lunch hour, and some of them do it honestly, for filthy lucre, okay? Selfish gain. They want money. The building is being rented and we don't have money. What do? Let's have services. Let's do lunch hour services. Let's do evening services. And the monies that we are able to collect, they will help us pay the building. Noble cause, but misaligned assignment. The cause is noble, but the assignment is misaligned. So, let's put lunch hour. He preaches 1 lunch hour. 2, 3. But the grace he has is to preach 2 times a week or 4. Are you following? He preaches that for 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. By the 4th month, he's out of what? Revelation. Some refuse to leave the altar and they start teaching other things. They start singing, dancing, do everything. But you're overwhelmed. Others say, let me start inviting different ministers. Then they write a list. Anybody who can teach. Anybody coming from Canada. Anybody coming from Australia. Anybody coming from Britain. Any Muzungu coming from anywhere. Any powerful pastor from Nigeria. Anybody from South Africa. Anybody from everywhere, right? So everyone is given an altar to what? To teach. But really, between me and you, the man of God ran out of what? You get it? Now, some people are in the class of anybody teaching them because of what their shepherds have subjected them to. And every grace that comes on that altar comes with its madness or salvation. Some come to redeem with revival. and some come to destroy what the pastor built, and then the one who comes next week breaks the one built last month, and then the one who comes the next month is attacking the one thing that the other pastor. That's transgression. The Bible says, for if I build the very things I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. One preaches grace today, the next preacher preaches law. After that, they preach demonic curses. Then somebody says, no, you're not under demons. And Christians say, amen. You don't have a demon on you. Amen. But the next week, we are going to bring a specialist in demons. You know, some of you have demons. Amen. Then the specialist of demons comes the next week. Today, I'm going to teach about demons. By the way, all of you have demons. Tell your neighbor, we all have demons. Then the people say, we all have demons. Now, what was outside is imported. Are you listening? It's what? Imported. And when it's imported, the demons manifest and they say, hey, even you, Miriam, you had tenants. No, the tenants were not there, but they came because somebody preached them in. Are you following what I'm saying? And then when Miriam falls down, they say, oh, Lord, I think we need a deeper deliverance. Then they go to a deeper deliverance ministry. But they were taught out of the same bondage last week. Because anybody can teach them. I believe in the unity of a faith. I believe in different individuals contributing to this, and that the altar will not be manned or led by one man. Mission and task here as well is to discern those who are worthy to minister. Some of you, by the way, in fact, I can say all of you, the reason why you've been kept is we have been very careful. Do you know, some people even in the congregation suggest for me, Apostle Grace, invite so-and-so. Pastor, invite so-and-so. And I say, no, you invite them. You what? Invite them. Because there are things we know. There are things we know. Some of the people we see, you don't know who they are. But some of us know them off the camera. You get it? Yeah. If you don't trust your minister, you look for one you can trust. You look for another pastor who you can what? But it's the responsibility of every shepherd to keep the sheep. It's important. God. That's what the Bible tells us. God. God's fold. Now, it's in Timothy 5:2. Read it. Begin from verses 1. I warn you and counsel the elders among you, pastors and spiritual guides of the church, as fellow elder and as an eyewitness of the sufferings of Christ, as well as a share in the glory, that this is to be revealed. To tend. What does it mean to tend? Number 1, nurture. 2, to guard you. Number 3, to guide you. And number 4, fold. You know what means to fold? Fold means to, by wisdom, define the boundaries that are assigned to your liberties. Because all liberty has a boundary. You're free to pray, but there's a wisdom when not to pray. You get it? You're free to go to church. You're free to demonstrate power. You're free to sing. You're free to do many things. But there's a boundary beyond which, if you express yourself, you're out of the confines of God's will and purposes. So it's the responsibility of the shepherd, by wisdom, to not only nurture you, guard and guide you, but to also fold, right? The flock of God that is in your responsibility. It's our responsibility to guide you and guard you. And we're not supposed to coerce you or constrain you, but we're supposed to invite you through love and revelation to do things with wisdom and willingly. Are you learning?